I told him when I come back, we're going swimming. So, tell everybody thank you, Kirill. Скажи, дякую.
Дякую.
Ні, англійський.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, что? Very much. Еще раз.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Future president of Ukraine right here. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. It is 3:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is 10:47 in Ukraine. Wherever you're at, it's what time it is. Some of you, it's the morning. Some of you, it's the afternoon. Some of you, it's evening. And some of you, it is late at night. But I want to say thank you and welcome. And as you can tell, I'm home. That's a 50-50. Of course, you want to be home. It's extremely dangerous there, especially what we were doing this time, which you will be seeing, and you're going to be hearing more about that in just a minute. But it's extremely dangerous right now, all along the front lines. And I'll be honest with you, this was the closest we had ever come to a Shahed drone. It was crazy, just mere meters above our truck. And yeah, it brings it home really, really quickly. But we're safe. Everything is good. Everyone is healthy and mission is accomplished. And we'll be talking more about that in just a moment. I do want to say thank you. I want to start by saying thank you to all the guys in the chat, all of our moderators, everybody doing what they're doing to make this a success. Angie Kuhn, welcome to you. Michelle Mara, welcome to you. In Time Independent News, Bull Banks, Adrian. Adrian is incredible supporter of Ukraine, as you all are. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the U.S. Greg, I'm tuning in from the night shift. Dunk on You 23, also clicking along there. Armad, I think you got out of your meeting a few minutes early, so thank you, my friend. Join the Discord if you haven't done that. Yes, Darren Vaughn, I am back. Melissa Kane, welcome to you. Thank you. And Keith for all that you do. Last White Rose, Keith Kane, there you are. Adrian, let's go. Haji, welcome to you. Jeff, one of our moderators out of California. Greg is back. Yes, sir, I am. Maria Gladsuk. Hello, everyone. Homesick, so I get to watch live. There you are, Maria. There's your name on the screen for the live. Thank you. Jimmy Franson, welcome to you. And we do hope you feel better. Petra Olson, hello from Sweden. That is our non-smoking initiative queen, king, wonderful world example. Somebody giving up something to support Ukraine out of Sweden. So thank you, Petra, very, very much. Jenny, welcome to you. Good evening to you. Dunk on You, $20 super chat. Welcome back, Greg. Slava Ukraina. Brett, I'll say
Slava
this.
Ukraini.
You know what? I love having all my buttons back. Maria, thanks to Dunk on You for the well wishes. Catherine, welcome to you. Rachel Dobbs, Madap Max, that is really cool. You got your hearts rolling there, and there's Petra with the non-smoking initiative out of Sweden. Thank you as always. Let me flip forward. Oh Lord, there's just no way to keep up anymore. Okay, so all right. Darren Vaughn, Buckingham welcomes you back. Darren, listen, I'm going to be down there soon. Go to my website, go to the link in the description, send me an email. I'm going to meet you at the Tasty Freeze. Hello from Denmark, Hans J. Michelson. Mina Vuk, thank you for whoever gave me a membership. And yes, we have such a generous community. Thank you for that. So awesome. There's Blonde Bombsheller in the house. Another one of our great moderators. Thank you. S. Murphy. Hey, the Patch legend right there out of Virginia. Thank you to everybody. Sally Luz, Salt and Light, welcome to you and thank you. And yes, the Hope train is rolling. Um, are you going to be in Ukraine for the active summit? No, I actually attend a different one. Um, Not this one, Cheryl. I actually go to, um, it's called a different thing. I meet with different people. I saw Merck is there, and that's cool. Very good. But no, I will not be at that. I attend a different one. Pete, welcome to you. Welcome from Finland. All of you guys. So, for those of you, for the mods in here, we're gonna do something. Um, we're gonna take it to a different level on the chat because now I just can't keep up, and I don't like it that I can't keep up because I like to talk to everybody. So the mods will be chatting and all of that. So thank you guys. Now, I can also tell you that we're going to take it up a notch, a huge notch. Going to be working with our mods, going to be working with our community, and our goal is to take this experience to an entirely new level, with information for you, with support for Ukraine. Guys, I don't know if you've been paying attention for the last 90 minutes, but a lot has happened in the last 90 minutes. A massive amount has happened in the last 90 minutes, and I will not go in depth on it because it's just happening right now, but maybe I'll pop a video out a little bit later when a little bit more clarity comes, because right now Peter Pavel and Schultz are dropping some information that, to be honest, is not the best. But it doesn't change the Ukrainian position, and we're fighting for victory, and we'll continue. So we'll keep up with that. Now, for everybody here, please, as of right now, we are planning for Wednesday, 4 o'clock Eastern. Wednesday, September the 25th, in 48 hours, a massive joint live stream partnering with myself, Professor Gertis, Johnny from ATP Geopolitics, Rick, Zhenya, others. I'm just all the guys that were a part of making Pete's dream become a reality. And yes, I'm wearing Pete's jacket. It's like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. This will be my streaming jacket. As I told you guys right before I left, I did one stream and then left for Ukraine, with the adjustments we made in our life with moving and resetting up. But we made it, and all is well. So 48 hours, we will be advertising it. I'm speaking with Johnny, speaking with Professor Gertis, with Rick, with Zhenya, with everybody. The plan is in 48 hours. And you may say, or you may ask, well, why are you waiting 48 hours to show us Pete's dream fulfilled? Well, the first thing is Pete's dream is fulfilled.
Слава Україні!
Pete's dream is fulfilled. The vehicle is dropped on Pete's unit. Another vehicle is dropped on a different unit. You will see those on Wednesday. Why am I waiting? Because we want you to enjoy the entire experience. And it's a lot of work. Yana is helping us, Galina with Project Konstantin. They will be on the stream as well. It's going to be massive. It can go as long as it wants because it's a celebration. And I know, I told Rick and I told Professor Gertis and Johnny and Zhenya, said, listen, just be quiet. It was dangerous where we dropped them. We got them dropped. and we have incredible video to share with the world, but there's no way we're going to do this multiple times. We're going to do it one time and we're going to do it right. And guys, I have the original video where Pete is crying, asking Professor Gertis and myself to help him find an armored Kosovac vehicle. I have the original. And I want to be able to tell with the other guys the entire story. This was the request. And I was speaking with Yana about that. And Yana says, Greg, I have a video nobody has seen, and you can share it. It's where Pete is talking and just dreaming about Kosovacs. So, guys, we're going to do it. We're going to do it right. I'm giving you a 48-hour notice. Yeah, Cheryl, you met Loza. I see that in the chat there. Let me get that and pop that up. We met Loza for a mediated intimate conversation. Yeah, Loza is amazing. You will see Loza on Wednesday. You're going to see it all. And I'm talking about very, very moving stuff. So it takes time to get it ready. Will that be streamed here? Darren Vaughn, 100%. That will be streamed here. I will be the originating streamer, as will Professor Gertis and Johnny and Rick. I have the software here to push it to everybody's channel. So we'll all be streaming. But yes, Darren, it'll be here. 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And away we go. All right. Canty Luden, Canty, my friend, are you going to do a video for the Minute of Silence on October 1st? To be honest, Canty, I hadn't thought about it until you just mentioned it, and it's a great idea. Canty, a great supporter of Ukraine, and a big help to us. So thank you. Yeah, Canty, thank you. In fact, you have more information about that, message me in the Discord, please. All right, guys, let's get to it. I'm so out of touch here, just getting myself back in. I've got my iced tea ready. I've got my 141 mug with me here. No, not 141. This is Himmick. I've got Himmick's mug here. I got 141 on my brain. I've got my iced tea. I've got my coaster right there, or I'll get in trouble. And here's the notes for tonight. So, and thank you guys for all the chats and the super chats and the gifted memberships. I'm going to get to those in just a moment. So you zoomed into that, you see where we're going. All right. Let's do this. Let's start here. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is in the United States, as we all know. He visited an ammunition facility manufacturer in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Right now, he is in New York City. He is meeting or has concluded the meeting with Olaf Scholz, the president of Germany. The news there is not the best. It's no different than what we already know. Germany will spearhead and continue to lead the effort to supply Ukraine and guarantee X amount of euros, but we stand firm, not permitting strikes into Russian sovereign territory. So that was within the last few minutes. In fact, I may pop a different video out later tonight, so just keep your eye on it. Make sure you're subscribed and that you have the notifications on, because I think a lot's going down right now. I really believe a lot is going down right now, and there are a couple of things giving me clues for that, and I'll share them with you now. So President Zelenskyy is here. He will present his victory plan. Biden will be the first to see it. Then leaders of other partner countries will be able to see it. I can tell you when that news was coming out and President Zelenskyy here in the United States, I was actually watching Russian news. And you may ask, why do you watch Russian news? That's so I can tell you what they're talking about. And what they were talking about is this. We already know President Zelenskyy's victory plan. And we look forward to watching him share it to the rest of the world. But we already know it. And of course, that's the rhetoric they're going to spin. Do I think they know it? Most likely. Most likely. There's that much collaboration. There's that much lack of secrecy. There's that much spy work going on. No question. They are at least familiar. And it's obvious President Zelenskyy's victory campaign is 91 borders. We continue to hold our territory, Crimea, and we restore our lands. But we're starting to hear some other things today. The victory plan will also be presented to both parties of the U.S. Congress. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will also be given the victory plan. And over the next couple of weeks, there will be meetings with leaders of the Global South, heads of European states, and other international leaders. So that's what's happening right now with President Zelenskyy being here inside the United States and right now in New York City. Now, within the last 60 minutes or so, we're getting a lot of news and information out about Peter Pavel. Now, I am a Peter Pavel fan, president of the Czech Republic. He is also a former general of NATO. He supports Ukraine 100%, but the man, pretty smart, pretty smart fella. Zelenskyy, over the last 24 hours, made this statement. It is the fall, 2024, that it will be decided what will happen next in this war. Quote, Vladimir Zelenskyy. I will repeat it. It is the fall, 2024, that it will be decided what will happen next in this war. Vladimir Zelenskyy. I remind you guys, this is exactly what Peter Pavel said 20 months ago. It will be the fall of 2024 when the direction of this war will be determined. We are now September the 23rd, quickly approaching the American election, and President Zelenskyy says it's the fall of 2024 that it will be decided what will happen next in this war. And please hear me out. Please hear me out. I just returned from bombs dropping. We love Ukraine. But Peter Pavel called it 20 months ago. You may not agree with what Peter Pavel says, and especially right now, you may not like it, because it's just coming out that Peter Pavel was talking today that Ukraine may have to temporarily, let me stress, temporarily give up some of its sovereign territory to end this war. That's within the last 60 minutes coming out. I will make sure that I look more into that, and I really want to do another video on that, hopefully later tonight. Because if you've been with me a long time, you know I am a Peter Pavel. I really think the guy cares for Ukraine, supports Ukraine, loves Ukraine, stands for Ukraine, has military experience on the highest level and political experience on the highest level, general of NATO, president of a sovereign nation, the Czech Republic. He knows the score. And now, just coming out within the last 60 minutes ago, Peter Pavel stating that Ukraine may, I stress may, have to consider temporarily, giving up some of their territory temporarily to get this thing in a more suitable state for Ukraine. Then we have Zelenskyy basically reiterating it. We're going to leave that right there right now because it's so fresh. if we talk about it anymore, we're just speculating. And I try not to do that on the channel. And I try to make sure I am giving you guys accurate information. But that's where we're at. But I do remind you that it was about 20 months ago. This is exactly what Peter Pavel said. So we shall see. This is why everything is important. Supporting Ukraine, communicating with your elected officials. Doesn't matter if you're American or maybe you're from Europe, Australia, wherever. Communicate, get out, grassroots efforts, do everything we can, because I'm telling you, it's tough on the front right now. I know that we just had another incursion into Kursk, and that's great news. It's great news. Ukraine opened up another variant, another line on to Kursk to further support its initiative into the Kursk Oblast. And if you're here and you say, okay, Greg, you're talking about stuff I don't know about there, I'll give it to you right here and do that. Leave for you because I'm back home and I've got my stuff. So we're talking about right here. This is actually the border of Ukraine here. And I'm talking about this this region right here, which is into the Kursk Oblast. Ukraine has opened up another line here, which is great. It's great. But at the same time, it's tough, guys. It's tough, but we stand strong. Jimmy, welcome. Just joining from Starsky. Awesome. Starsky's my buddy. So we'll continue with that, but that's what I'm talking about. The Kursk initiative there. Ukraine opening up some lines again, further support lines. But the reality is it's tough right now. It's tough. Why is it tough? It's tough because it's not just a war zone, but I can tell you that in Ukraine right now, there are multiple challenges, not only including a horrible war. They're fighting with a terroristic regime and terroristic nation. You know, I returned home and my mother-in-law, my wife and I are having to take care of her early stages of dementia and health, and everything's beautiful. She's awesome. Took her out to dinner last night, took her to see a movie. And this is what my mother-in-law asked me. Greg, why doesn't somebody just go over there and wipe that Putin out? Wouldn't that just solve it? I said, yes. Meemaw, that would definitely help. It wouldn't end the war, but it would definitely be good. Well, can't they get him? It's tough, Meemaw. It's tough, Meemaw. So, additionally, there are other things happening in Ukraine other than just the horrible brutality on the front lines. But I will say this, a lot of the things that are happening inside Ukraine right now, ecologically, are due to the war. Let me repeat that. A lot of the things that are happening inside Ukraine right now, ecologically, are due to the war. For example, today in Kyiv, very difficult air quality, extremely difficult air quality in Kyiv. Additionally, with the tainted waters that are up north, Kyiv is okay. They have water, no problem, but it is a strain on the system to take care of getting enough clean water. That's Kyiv. Up in the green circle at the very top of the map where there are no cities listed, that is the city of Chernihiv. Chernihiv has had an increase of glide bombs dropping on it over the last 24, 48, 72 hours. But a lot of this region right here is where a lot of the pollution is coming from. And guys, it's because of the effects of this war. Rotate over to Kharkiv. Kharkiv, that green circular region there, very difficult because there is an increase of glide bombs. There's an increase of damage to the infrastructure inside Kharkiv, and it is creating a challenge for services to function properly. If you drop below Kharkiv and you see the green circle that is on Zaporizhzhia, to the right of that, you see the graphic of a forest fire. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot tell you how bad the forest fires are in Ukraine. I cannot even describe it. In fact, here's Dunk on U23. Don't forget the fires in the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Exactly. It's indescribable. But on Wednesday, when we are showing the dropping of armored vehicle, you will see some of that. We literally were driving through smoke and burning fires so thick that we could not see the vehicle in front of us at just a few meters. Trees dropping across the road, fires burning everywhere. It is an ecological disaster between Kharkiv and Zaporizhzhia in the east, and as Dunk said, up north, basically where the lady's head is there with the mask on and the pollution graphic. It's bad. It's really bad. It's burning like crazy. So why is it burning like that? There are three reasons. Number one, a terroristic dictator regime filled bunch of evil people have invaded Ukraine and brought hell with them. Secondly, there is no rain. It is dry, dry, dry. Third, both sides are firing incendiary munitions. We look at one side of it, Ukraine with the Dragon drone, and they're dropping, and you see the fire burning. Great. Great. And then we see Russia respond. They develop theirs. So both nations dropping fire on each other. That fire burns, and it's been extremely windy, and it just gets out of control, and it just gone and burns and burns. Huge, beautiful forest destroyed. Huge, beautiful grasslands destroyed, burned up. Very difficult over there. Green circle on Zaporizhzhia. Also in that circle is included the city of Pavlograd. I'm going to talk more about Zaporizhzhia and Pavlograd in just a minute. But really interesting thing happened in regard to Zaporizhzhia. We'll get to that on its own. And then down south, extremely dry. There are ecologists who are stating right now that they project that southern Ukraine, where I have the graphic there, could turn into a desert much like the Sahara within 40 to 50 years. This is a result of the war, the Novokakhovka Dam. That's not the only reason, but a major reason, the Novokakhovka Dam. People would say, well, wouldn't that affect just all the water below it, like to the south where Russia is occupying? No, it affects all the way to the north, because the water that's draining into that Dnipro River basin. Let me do this for you. Let's go here. Do this. Here's Kherson. Here's Nikopol. Here's Mykolaiv. Honestly, all of this stuff here it's like a desert. All the tributaries, all the rivers that should be flowing down naturally, coming this way, are bone dry. The lakes, the reservoirs, bone dry. And I'm talking bone dry. It was about a month ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I did a video on that. Now, I want to show you something that's hard to believe, but I'm telling you guys the truth. Let's do this. Let's just go black. Here is Kropyvnyvsky. Here is Kryvyi Rih. Here's Zaporizhzhia. Here's Dnipro. So there's a road that connects Zaporizhzhia to Dnipro. Then there's a road that comes down to Kryvyi Rih. Then one that splits Kropyvnyvsky. And then one that pushes down Novaya Bug towards Mykolaiv. That's your highway system. We, of course, drive all of these roads. All of them. Andreas Victorious, I just saw that, and thank you for volunteering in Ukraine. Andreas Victorious. Thank you. Very much. Thank you very much. Now, why am I showing you this? Because we're talking about the ecology. And I will tell you, our own eyeballs. Driving, let me change the color here. Driving from Zap up south of Dnipro, coming down, and then Kropyvnyvsky. Bone dry. Zhenya and I would cross rivers, and Rick was with us on a run, and Roma. We would cross rivers that should be full of water, massively full of water, up in this region here. All of this. And as we would go across them, Zhenya would go, look, bone dry, bone dry, bone dry. So we're talking about a very large region here in southern Ukraine that is bone dry. And I know the question, okay, Greg, well, how far is it? Let's do something. Let's go from Kherson, and I'll just go straight to Kropyvnyvsky. 213 kilometers. So for the Americans in the house, 120 miles. And I'm talking dry, dry, dry. So we need to pay attention to that. Now, I want to dive a little deeper on this area here, and I will go into the map and show it to you. And I'm going to show you some video right now that we have. Nobody else has, I'm pretty sure. We're having a little bit of trouble in Kupyansk and Borova. You say, okay, Greg, I've heard of Kupyansk, but Borova, not heard of Borova. I'm going to show it to you. Let me do, well, let's do this first. I've got Zhenya talking to me right now. 1 second. You know, when you're streaming and Zhenya sends you a message, you better check it. Yep, Zaporizhzhia. Okay. That's all I need to know. I'm going to talk about Zaporizhzhia because it's weird. And I know you're going to not really understand that, but let me get to it. First, let me do this. Right here is Kharkiv. And right here is Russian border. Okay. City of Kupyansk here. And then Borova is right there. So make sure you have that in your mind before I zoom in. Kharkiv is here. And Izum is here. Kramatorsk and Slavyansk down here. Kupyansk here. But we're talking about this X area right there. Now, everybody got it? Good. Now I'm going to zoom in and show it to you. This is the city of Kupyansk. They've been battling over that for 2 years. This is Borova. This is a zoom. The road coming in. You cross the river. Come into Borova. You go straight up to Kupyansk. There's no OPSEC there. It's on the stinking map right in front of the whole world to see. Where were we? So this is Zhenya and I. Zhenya and I were, and I can tell you now, right here in Borova. And I want you to watch this area right here. You see where the little leg is coming in. Watch. This is deep state. There's your jump. It's significant. This is Borova. Right here. This is their line. We have friends, and you have friends that are fighting in all of this area. We supply them. You supply them. And they told us directly weeks ago, very difficult. Very difficult. But now we're starting to hear it in the public news, but we already knew it. Borova to their position, 18 kilometers. But what they're trying to do is come straight into this road, get control of this bridge, and then push straight down to Borova. Borova is a key little town there where you can have access to cross the river. I can tell you the bridges are destroyed. So, well, how do they cross? Pontoon bridges at different locations that, of course, we would never, ever show. So what's missing? Let me get that right quick, Canty. That's a good question. So what's missing? Ammo supplies too slow again? That's a part of it, 100%. Haji, Greg, what's their patch? Which patch? The guys fighting there that we support? It's an airborne unit. 177. I have their patch somewhere. I think it's still in my suitcase packed. I also have a battle flag from them. Yeah, 177. I'll show it. I'll show that patch on a future stream. So yes, supplies are tough and it's a challenge. I want to show you guys Borova. Okay, this is video nobody else has seen. We have it. We were there. Here is what Borova is already looking like. Let's do this. No OPSEC concern here. This was a couple of weeks ago, and now it's exponentially worse. You realize, guys, those are homes. Those are homes. We're talking about just farming village, little town. Everything is being destroyed. And Borova, we were just there. You're seeing video directly from there. You will see more news about that. It's tough. It's a challenge. I'm reading the chat and trying to keep up. I have an idea for that, the mods. So let's do this. I want to focus now on Zaporizhzhia. Zhenya just messaged me that Zaporizhzhia is being hit again right this minute. And I'm going to be very, very clear with you guys and honest. Something's goofy here. Something's very goofy. Larry and Deborah Mininger. I have to get them. These are the guys that got me working in Ukraine 26 years ago. Look at that white hair. Those are two Ukrainian legends right there. Legends. Zaporizhzhia. Zaporizhzhia is one of the cities that I spend the most time in. I stay in Zaporizhzhia a lot. And yes, Zaporizhzhia is close to the front. But I'm just going to be honest with you guys completely right now. Zhenya and I felt very safe staying in Zaporizhzhia. In fact, we choose very wisely to the best of our ability where we stay. In Kherson, when we stay, which is crazy dangerous, we have buildings that we use as our shields. I mean, literally. So artillery can't get us, hopefully. Kramatorsk, Slavyansk, we have places we stay, and that's always connected with our soldiers. Of course, could never say where we stay there. And like if I take Rick to the front, I would never keep him with us there in that area. Crazy. But we have certain places we stay. Dangerous. Kharkiv, Sumy, Pokrovsk. Used to stay in Pokrovsk and Pavlograd. But Zaporizhzhia is a city where, for me, I can't speak for Zhenya, he can speak for himself, we felt the safest. Because, to be quite honest, Zaporizhzhia is hit very little. Very, very little. Zaporizhzhia is a city where there is probably 50 to 60% of the people waiting for Russia to come. Let's call it 50%. And I know you guys may go, okay, dude, you're bonkers. Or maybe you're new to my channel and you're skimming along and it's on your feed right now. And you're saying, okay, this guy's clueless. Okay. Clueless. I'm not clueless. I was just in Zaporizhzhia last week, days ago. And it's not from me, not my guess. We talked to the politicians there. We talked to people that are in media. We talked to huge business owners. 50% of the people are waiting for Russia. They speak Russian. Many of the signs on businesses are still in Russian. It's Zaporizhzhia. It's an old city. It's very Soviet, extremely Soviet. And Zaporizhzhia, in general, has not been hit as much as other cities. Like Dnipro. Dnipro has been hit, I can't give an X, but many, multiple times more often, Dnipro is hit instead of Zaporizhzhia. And you would say, well, that's kind of weird. Yeah, it's weird. Of course. Here's Zaporizhzhia right here. Here's Dnipro. You would say, well, this one's closer. Just hit that. There's a reason they're not hitting it. They're trying to preserve it. They think they're going to get it. Dnipro, they just smashing. Pavlograd, smashing. cruise missiles, ballistic missiles hitting Pavlograd. Tonight, we're not going to talk about Pokrovsk because I can talk about Pokrovsk forever. Pokrovsk, they're going after like crazy. And they're crawling closer. They're crawling closer. And when they crawl closer, they destroy every square inch, every square centimeter. They level it. But I have a concern now. I'm very concerned that they're hitting Zaporizhzhia at the level they are. Let me show you this. This is abnormal right here. I'm going to pause that again. I want you to watch very closely. The camera got it just barely. This is directly from Zaporizhzhia footage. This is a glide bomb you're seeing hit. Watch. Right there. I'll restart it again. Right there. See if I can. Okay, you can see. I'll let it go this time. We are at 27 wounded, including children.
Не, на выше этот подъезд уже.
Там 106 чей? Может, там 6 Да, 4-й. Ну, там 11.
Ні, це треба буде зараз зняти, що зробимо.
Listen, grandmothers.
А є у вас якісь хронічні захворювання?
So there you have it, guys. That's Zaporizhzhia, but I'm gonna explain it just a touch more for you. Let's see here. Catalan T. Is there no way to block these glide bombs or for Ukraine to use their own glide bombs? Okay, I can answer both of those questions with authority. In fact, you, sir, are a prophet. I'm getting ready to explain a glide bomb to the community tonight, to the world. Not my explanation, but a Ukrainian pilot. He's going to explain the glide bombs to you. Does Ukraine use their own glide bombs? Yes, but their glide bombs are not as good as Russia's, and they're not as big as Russia's, and they do not have as many as Russia has, and they do not have as many airplanes to get these glide bombs in the air as Russia has. So there's the answer to that part. I'll get to the next part in just a moment. Now, I'm going to explain something to you guys, just share truth with you right here. Let me change this to black. This is Zaporizhzhia. Guys, that is one massive, massive city. In fact, let me just zoom in here, and I think I can switch this to a satellite. There you go. This is a massive, massive city. This metro area here is over 1 million in population. It's massive. Now, if we come out, and let me go back to this topo map here. There is roadways. I'm just going to explain all this to you guys real quick. Okay. You guys know we help guys right here. Rikov, Rabotny. So this road right here that comes through Komyshevatka and down to Orikov, We know it like the back of our hands. We drive it constantly. The road that goes south towards occupied territory, we ride that road. There are small villages along here, like that, that in those villages where those black lines are, the streets, it's like Russia, okay? The streets are named Lenin and Pushkin and Stalin. The streets have never been changed. Old, it looks like the Soviet Union, 1960. It's just these small villages that are trapped in a time capsule. Farming, river support. Of course, right over here is Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. These villages have never been shelled one time. Not once. They're perfect. They're shooting over them. You say, well, that doesn't make any sense. They're right here. Yeah, they are. But complete disregard for this area here. Now, all of this leveled. Nikopol over here, leveled. Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, terroristic control. Zaporizhzhia itself, quiet. But this channel right there, that channel has been quiet. The little towns aren't touched. Ukraine is holding their lines. Russia's holding their lines, and that's it. You say, well, why? Because Russia really feels they're going to gain Zaporizhzhia through this. According, as we know, to the Russian Constitution, September 2022, this is Russia. In fact, Zhenya and I make these jokes all the time, and we did it with Rick and Roma. It was Roma's first time in Zaporizhzhia, and Rick, we're riding around Zaporizhzhia, and we go, hey guys, how does it feel to drive around Russia? And of course, we're joking, just joking, because it's on their constitution. But the reality is, this little part, this strip right here, has been untouched, relatively untouched. But now, they're starting to hit Zaporizhzhia a lot. Last night, 7 glide bombs. Zhenya just messaged me. They're hitting Zaporizhzhia right now. Additionally, in this area over toward Guliapol, which is along this southern line here, and Ugledar, okay? Ugledar's right there. This is a challenge right there, that little spot. So that really is the southern look. And to be honest, this entire area here, Kurskaya Street, Voronezh Street. Zhenya's telling me the name of the streets. He goes, we didn't see a Stalin. We saw a Lenin, a Pushkin. We saw a lot of Russian named streets from history. Okay. So that's the deal there. Zhenya taking care of me. I don't know. We need to pay attention. So we'll watch it. But for me, a lot of experience in Zaporizhzhia. This it's just a little bit weird. There's something going on there. Something going on. Now, Catalan asked about the glide bombs. I can answer those. Right here. This is from test pilot Ukrainian Alexander Kovalenko. I received this information today. This is a picture on the left of a glide bomb. The airplanes that drop the glide bombs are typically the Su-34 fighter bomber or the Su-35. Su-34 or the Su-35. They are typically dropping them about 12 or 10 kilometers from their targeted area. Once they drop them, they begin to glide and they have GPS precision guidance. So it's not a cruise missile with projection and an engine per se, like a cruise missile or a ballistic missile, but they are maneuverable, they are glidable, they are controllable through GPS, and they already have the speed of the airplane. So that is their inertia. So they're rolling along, and then boom, they'll release it, and it has that inertia, and it has gravity, and it has GPS, and they are running 250 kilogram, 500 kilogram, and 1,500 kilogram. Here's the information direct today from test pilot Alexander Kovalenko, Ukrainian. 4 things. Cabs, glide bombs, cannot be shot down. We must destroy the Su-34 and the Su-35. He said, his words, number 1, air defense supply for long range must strike the planes. Shooting a glide bomb out of the air, although it may save that one explosion, is not the goal. The goal is to stop the planes that are dropping them now. I don't want to use Zhenya's term, but it's almost time to use it. Hashtag nonstop. In regard to Kharkiv and Sumy and Chernihiv, nonstop. Now they're starting to use glide bombs a little bit more toward the south, Kramatorsk, Slavyansk area, and now Zaporizhzhia. Yes, across Pavlograd, although Pavlograd typically gets ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, but now Zaporizhzhia starting to experience these glide bombs. So we have to strike the plane, number 1. Number 2, he said, Patriot systems can. But here's truth. But this is, and I did the red and underlined, not reality to have that many Patriot systems deployed and then have enough Patriot supply to fight the glide bombs. It's not reality. Alexander Kovalenko, you are 100% correct. We cannot even get enough Patriot systems in the country to defend our skies from typical general cruise missile attacks. He said you'd have to have Patriots everywhere, not reality. He said, number 3, yes, F-16 fighters, of which we're hoping to get more, and more trained pilots, which takes time. Their AMRAAM missile systems is a possibility to defend against the KAB or the CAB, the glide bombs. So the F-16, good. Number 4, ATACMS. Or others, systems that may come. He says, this is our best scenario. ATACMS and hit the airfields within a radius of 300 kilometers from the border with Russia. But now, this gets us back to the concern from today. Olaf Scholz reiterating, sorry, no long strikes in Russia. Not happening with Germany's signature on it. Number 2, Peter Pavel. We may need to look at this a little differently. But we're going to leave those right there right now because Zelenskyy is thanking American manufacturers. Zelenskyy will be meeting, or if it's already happened, I don't know. I'm on here. I got to get that one. Number 3. Let me get that. Number 3. This may be naive, and thank you for the $2 there, my friend. Number 3. This may be naive, but would suspended nets help? No. Net systems can help against, for example, FPV drones, Mavics, little teeny lightweight drones that are flying through the air. Yes, they can help. can help. But glide bombs, nothing can stop them. Nothing. Let me try to explain it this way. Imagine a Volkswagen Bug falling out of the air loaded. It doesn't have a traceable heat system that can be targeted. It is controlled by GPS, by inertia, by gravity, by the speed of the deploying aircraft, and it's controlled. And it's falling out of the sky toward its target. That's what's coming down to the ground. Our Volkswagens. It's, once again, forget me. Let's listen to Alexander Kovalenko. Air defense supply. Patriot systems, not real. F-16s, yes. We need more, and we need more pilots, and we need more time. And fourthly, ATACMS or other to hit airfields within a radius of 300 kilometers from the border with Russia. That's your answer, and I hope that helps everyone understand. Let's take it to the next one. I know there's been a lot of talk about Iranian supply to Russia. And guys, if you do not think Iran is supplying Russia, then I have beachfront property in Nebraska to sell you. Of course, Iran is supplying Russia. Of course. Of course, North Korea is supplying Russia openly. Of course, China is supplying Russia on the down low. But it's there, not with lethal weapons, but with stuff that makes the lethal weapons work. Take all of that and push it to the side. This report coming from Forbes. Forbes says Russia has 130 Iskanders in stock right now. This is Forbes report. So this is what the world will go off of and take as a public number. For me personally, whenever I see a number that an organization or a news or media writes, for me, that's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. Because I am sure Russia has more than they would ever say. But we'll go off these numbers. 130, 55 Kinjals, up to 60 KN-23s, 200 Shahed 136s. On the right column, Russia themselves. Forget the supply of North Korea, of Iran, China, whatever. Forget it. Russia themselves are manufacturing, according to Forbes, 40 to 50 Iskanders every month. 2 to 6 Kinjals every month. And more than 500 Shaheds every month. 30 days in a month. 30 times 10 is 300. They can just sling 10 Shaheds floating around Ukrainian airspace every day, which they do, and still increase their supply. And we're only talking about what Russia is manufacturing. We're not talking about what's still coming. And you can rest assured it's still coming. And guys, there will continue to be a development in the Middle East, and I have a lot of friends in Israel. You guys know that pastor, I'm travel the world speaking before getting full born on standing with the country that I love more than anything, which is Ukraine, and standing with my brothers and sisters until victory. It's my focus completely right now. My focus is completely on educating you guys and loving you and thanking you for being a part of this community and for standing with Ukraine and supporting and caring, and I'm trying to translate. I'm trying to put my body inside Ukraine constantly so that you can see reality and not listen to some talking head behind a microphone who's never been within 5,000 miles of Ukraine, but they're an expert. Forget all of that. We're there, and we're doing it to be your hands, your eyes, your feet, because it's right. It's right. Doesn't matter about your political background. It doesn't matter about your religious affiliation. It doesn't matter about what the color of your skin is. It doesn't matter about what language you speak natively. What matters is right now there is a nation in Eastern Europe, north of the Black Sea, that is being wiped off this planet inch by inch and meter by meter. And in general, the world is not paying attention to it to the level that they should. And we see more proof of that because everyone is scared to death of Vladimir Putin and his ability to control the narrative. One of the reasons because of his nuclear arsenal. You can call it what you want, but that is what it is. They're scared to death of him because the world and its leadership system is basically made up of a bunch of folks right now who do not have the intestinal fortitude to speak directly, to speak strongly, and to stand for what is right, even though there may be personal risk to themselves or personal and national risks to the countries they represent. That is where we're at. So what happens? We do it. We stand for what is right. We try to share the truth. We translate what we can translate. We drop armored Cossacks to fulfill some legendary South African / British medic who gave his life for what is right. This is what we do, and we're very thankful that you're a part of it. Thank you for doing that. But this is who we are and what we do, and we're just going to continue and get better and better and better so that we can help more and more and more. The bottom line is Russia's manufacturing their own stuff. That's it. They're manufacturing a lot of it. They'll keep slinging it. Today, all over Ukraine, a lot of news about energy. And I know for you guys, you may be, for me, it's a little illogical, to be quite honest. How that, okay, one would logically think, let me say it this way. One would logically think that a nation consumes more energy during the summer than it does during the winter. But that is not true for Ukraine. In Ukraine, if you are in a European nation or you're in America or Australia, and for example, typically for you, normal life is anywhere you go in the summertime, there's air conditioning. Anywhere you go. In Ukraine, it's not that way. Not every business has air conditioning, and for sure, not every home has air conditioner. That's just one example. Restaurants, they'll have a little section with an air conditioner or maybe not. Hospitals, they're not climate controlled completely like the West is. So just for that reason alone, air conditioning. The energy consumption in summer, although we would consider logically, oh, everybody's running their air conditioner. Everybody doesn't have an air conditioner. But in the winter, the energy consumption is many, many times more inside Ukraine. Winters are cold, winters are tough, and everybody is running heat. They have these massive boiler systems in factories and thermal plants, if they're not destroyed, building boilers underneath, and then people have personal heating units in their homes, and it's darker for much more of the day. You need more light, and the list goes on and on. The bottom line is a lot more energy is consumed in the winter in Ukraine. And today, over the last 24 hours, I was watching different news reports, and everybody is talking about energy. And when it comes to winter, even if there is not one more hit, let's say the war from this moment forward, there was not one more strike on any energy infrastructure. Right now, September the 23rd, Ukraine is going to struggle to keep the lights on during the winter, even with the current situation right now. And yes, Ukrainians are working to improve their infrastructure, repair things that are broken, secure them so that they can be more protected from future strikes. All of that's happening. But if with what we're dealing with right now, in some regions, they may only have 4 or 8 hours of power a day in a cold, wet, snowy, icy, rainy, windy winter. And that's a Ukrainian winter described. They're talking about it nonstop now on the news. Guys, this is something that must seriously be paid attention to. The last month that I was in Ukraine, we had quite a few struggles with power, and I'm just going to be honest with you. It was so frustrating. Like, unbelievably frustrating. Because they couldn't manage the schedule. And that's not on Ukraine. That's the result of the war. They would say, okay, no power from 4 to 8 p.m. But the power would go off at 2:30 and come back at 10. Or they would say, okay, definitely get power from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. Then at 1 a.m., you're still waiting for power. Or it goes off at 10. Or it comes on before it was supposed to, and you're asleep and you're not charging your power banks. And that's just the life right now. But the reality is, okay, it may get hot, open the window, go outside. That's what we would do. Me and my buddy, we were hot, we'd just go outside and stand in the shade and get a cold bottle of water. That's what you do. But you're not doing that in the winter. Once these apartment buildings get cold, they're hard to heat up. And when power goes out and it's dark or there's lack of heating, what do you do? It's not summertime. You just open a window. So this winter going to be a challenge. And that is why right now, Ukraine is working feverishly to improve their energy system and doing the best they can to defend themselves from future attacks. So we'll keep our eyes on it. This was an interesting little story I saw. All phones are checked. Data is restored. This is Leni Umarova. So this is a Ukrainian young lady that was taken into captivity. She was there, I think, for almost 2 years. She was returned from captivity in one of the last exchanges. She was accused of espionage. I'm showing this because there's a lot of stuff happening right now in the world of cell phones, pagers, technology, the ability to restore deleted files. And that's what this video is I'm going to share with you. And I know we have computer guys in here that are way smarter than I am on this. I'm smart enough to run a VPN and have friends who know a lot more than me. That's it. But technology is rapidly changing. When you go to sleep at night and you wake up the next day, it's already evolved more. Artificial intelligence, the ability to do things. What is happening in the Middle East right now? What is happening in Ukraine? And I don't understand it all. But when you get to these, whatever they're called, IME codes on your phone, MEI. I know somebody put in the chat. IMEI. Zhenya, if you're still here, you write it for me or something. IMEI something. She went to Crimea to take care of a sick family member. Thank you, Dunk. That's what it was. IMEI. That's it. That number right there. The bottom line is Russia is using everything they can, technologically speaking. And this is not just a 2024 development. But guys, the war of technology has been happening for decades and decades, even when technology was very poor. But check this out.
You mentioned they found some Telegram news channels when you went to Crimea through Russia. You cleaned your phone, but they restored everything, right? So they have the tech. Does this only apply to deleted news channels, or does it include chats too? There's a big debate about Telegram in Ukraine now. As for messages, I'm not sure. I was asking about personal saved data. They restored the saved stuff too.
So there's a whole interview there, but I'm just showing you that clip. The bottom line is when her phone was checked, they were able to restore data that was gone, supposedly. Candy Pun, thank you for that $4.99. And I'm going to get to all the super chats in just a moment. Thank you, but I saw that one pop up there. Thank you so much, Candy Pun. And I like that name a lot. It's very cool. The bottom line is, guys, pay attention. Please be careful. You know, I look at the demographics of those that watch my streams, and Professor Gertis is always doing analytics and saying, you know, a lot of our guys that support, you know, above 40, above 50, above 60, above 70. And guys, this is a PSA. Watch your stuff. Be very careful what you share. Be very careful what you do online. Be very careful what emails you reply to. Be very careful what you post on social media. And you hate it. You know, something that was meant to be so good, like a Facebook, sharing pictures so that your grandmother on the other side of the country could see the little grandkids. And now it's just abused and full of scams and full of trash. Just be careful, guys. Be very careful with your stuff. Last two things tonight. And I'm going to show this. Many of you that are in here on a live, you may not have seen this. And then I'm going to tell you thank you. And I'm going to go watch my daughter play volleyball. Note to self, do not quit. This was a video I dropped earlier, but all of you guys that are in the live right now, you may have already seen this. It's short, but you need to see it. The guy in the middle there is Bogdan. That's his name. He is such a friend of Zhenya's and mine. I've known that dude since he was at my knee level, literally. And I'm 6'4". He's about 8 feet tall. And if you're new to the channel, you'll get the joke on that. I'm not 6'4" and he's not 8 feet. But the message is clear. Do not quit. And we are all links in the chain. You're going to see also here. I just want you guys to see this. You may not have seen this. The care of Ukrainian soldiers. And we've talked about some tough stuff tonight. Some good stuff, but some tough stuff in regard to Zaporizhzhia. We learned about the glide bombs more. The ecological factors that Ukraine is facing right now. But when it comes down to it, guys, what are we supporting? We're supporting the best people in the world. These Ukrainians that are fighting for their own nation, their own culture, their own sovereign territory, their own land. They're being wiped off the planet while the world just watches it happen in general. Not us. We're doing all that we can, but in general, the world just watching or ignoring it, to be quite honest. And maybe that's a better way to say it, ignoring it. But we all are links in the chain. Let me show you what real Ukrainian soldiers are like. A little behind the scenes here.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
На виріст.
Present for me?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So, Vitaly, when I come back and we deliver Kosovac, I wear this.
Я жилета дам. Якщо ми поїдемо на Європу, то в жилеті ще.
Holy moly. Hint, hint. You're going to see this place on Wednesday. I'm going to do this video with it. I had a guy here just come, and I are slowly becoming the only mouthpiece they have. Here's Bogdan.
Потрібно?
Звісно. Другого вкусу немає. Що потрібно?
I asked, does they need it? His unit said, for sure, there is no doubt. Thank you. Подяка всім, хто допоміг.
That's a professional
Один
вопрос.
Один вопрос.
Что это?
Що це?
Зарядна станція для батарейок під FPV.
It's a professional charging station for FPV batteries.
There you go. Thank you, guys.
Я знаю, що їх удобно. От ти тут воюєш, правильно, за нашу країну. Питання. Що б ти сказав людям? Вже майже 3 роки війни. Хлопці тут військові втомилися багато. Волонтери трохи втомилися. Скажи щось позитивне волонтерам, які, щоб вони, що ти їм можеш сказати? Ті, хто вже теж втомився допомагати. Ще важлива волонтерська робота. Грек, перекладай.
So the man drops a war and peace and tells me to interpret. So basically he's talking to our buddy here, Bogdan, and he said, Bogdan, here we are facing 3 years of war, basically. And our guys are tired, people around the world are tired, maybe volunteers are tired, but we keep on doing what we can do. What would you say to people in regard to this topic about being tired and still needing to help the best we can?
Окей. Нам всім потрібні ваші руки, ноги, того що як би не тяжко було, треба йти до любої мети і
All of us still continue we need your arms, your feet and your help here.
Також ваш розум,
Your mind.
бо кожен
Your knowledge.
із нас є цепочка, без якої ми не можемо
Because
взаємодіяти
you are a
і
part of
йти
the
вперед.
chain without which we cannot continue.
Everybody makes up a link in the chain,
Yeah.
making it strong.
В общем, у кожного є своя задача, і для кожного є місце, чим допомагати і куди рухатися.
Everyone has own task and let's say needs to accomplish his part,
І
fulfill his part.
саме важливе це
And most
не
important-
боятися викликів, які є.
Not to be afraid of the challenges. That's it. This is my thoughts.
Bogdan, thank you for those thoughts. So guys, we're,
Okay.
if you knew what I could look at right now if I wanted to, you may be jealous to see what I'm looking at or have the potential to look at. But I can tell you this guy's a hero down here fighting. I've known him since he was like up to my knee as a child. I know his family and longtime friends, and this guy's fighting, and he's just telling you the truth, guys. This is a veteran. This is a hero here, and he's saying, don't give up. Keep standing together, even when it hurts, even when we don't feel like it, when we're tired. And that's something good to think about for soldiers. You know, you may be around the world, or you may be throughout Ukraine, because we did this in both Ukraine and English, well, most of it. But think about it. These guys, they can't call in sick. They can't say, I think I'm going to take next week off and go to the sea. They have no chance to do that. They have to fight every day. We all know Ukraine's soldier count. We need more. Mobilization is under the way. So these guys are aggressively fighting, guys, every day. So if they can do it, instead of us just saluting them and saying respect, let's do something to help them every day. Maybe it's a kind word. Maybe it's a letter to your government. Maybe it's a donation. Whatever it may be, every day we stand together.
And I want to interpret it very
Please.
perfect way. Amen. I mean.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. There you go. So thank you. And I see right now we have the Hope Train Chain Gang. We have the Chain of Life. We have, okay, Greenie Cake. Welcome. Yeah. 84 minutes in and rolling. And, it's been good. It's been very good. Thank you guys. And I think that was the best thing I can share with you. And that's on its own video, but it needed to be seen. We're a chain. And if we do not stand together, then united we stand, divided we fall. And that's just not going to happen. So thank you so much. And, I think what we're going to have to do is repaint the Hope Train and just have a chain alongside of it. And I like Dunk's message there, Chain of Life. I want to say thank you again. And this is where we'll close tonight until tomorrow. There are some guys up there saying thank you. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Additionally, thank you for likes. And I know our mods in here telling everybody or suggesting to everyone to leave a comment after. Thank you for that. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm going to get the rest of those in just a second. Dunk on you once again. Thank you again for that 20 and the memberships. Pethra, thank you as always for the non-smoking initiative. Jenny, the £5. Welcome home. Another electric bill payment. You guys are so incredible. Johnny Nedregard, thank you for that. Richard Bennett gifting the 5 memberships. iBag member for 7 months. Ukraine will win. 100% sure. I agree with that. iBag gifting 5 memberships. Kobe Jack gifting 10 memberships. Thank you, Kobe Jack. I love that. Is that a black lab? Yep, that's a black lab. That is a nice picture. Number 3. Thank you again on the suspended nets question. Papa Dutch, it would call for a net that can support several hundred kilos. That is correct. And not only that, I'm not a physicist, but probably there's a lot of juice flowing with that as well. Doug Halstead, $9.99 for whatever helps Ukraine. Thank you for that, Doug. Alistair Fitchy, Rim 7 Sparrow. Nate Sams has a range aerodynamic of 30 miles, 48 kilometers. Thank you for that, 20 quid. Additional, Alistair Fitchy, I want you to know, sir, that your personal message was delivered to the Kosovac drivers on the Land Rovers, on the armored vehicle. Listen, I told them Alistair has experience, and he said, when you are moving, never pull that emergency brake. You'll destroy the vehicle. So your message has been supplied. Bombsheller gifting the 10 memberships. Papa Dutch, 5. You can burn wood in the winter to stay warm, but not if the woods have already been burned down. That is correct, sir. And I will tell you this. It's very interesting you make that statement, because when we were there just last week and before, we saw wood everywhere, wood being transported like crazy. And it just dawned on me. I know that some of the wood was going to build positions because we know what they look like. We're there, but there was other wood rotating around like much more than normal. So they may be working on something for that, Papa Dutch. Reb Tyree gifting 10 memberships. And Papa Dutch is watching sports. Candy Pun, thank you. Guys, thank you all. Thank you to the mods. Up there in the picture on the top left, you see Kola and then Zhenya. Below Zhenya, you see Oleg Nikolaevich. To the left there of me, Wasp. And yes, you will see Wasp delivery soon. We did that fundraiser there on the fly. It's accomplished, already being shipped to him, and you will see it. And there's myself. And behind me is Vadim. So thank you guys for all that you do. Thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing, supporting Ukraine, and a huge, huge shout out. And thank you to our moderators. Thank you. Because it's growing now much more than I have the ability to keep up with. And I like for the live streams to be interactive and personal. And I do have something I'm thinking about for the comment. So we'll work on that. I'll need your guys' experience and help. You guys be blessed. Plan to be here tomorrow night, 3:45, 4 o'clock Eastern, somewhere in that area. And additionally, I'll be watching what Peter Pavel said, see if I can get some more information on that, because we need to pay attention to Peter. for sure. You guys be blessed, and we'll see you later on a video or see you tomorrow.
Слава Україні!